Now, from the station on your side, this is Wavy News 10.
A senseless crime happened and imposed tremendous grief upon the people of Virginia Beach, the Commonwealth, and this country.
The most devastating day in the history of Virginia Beach.
This devastating incident, which is going to change the lives of a number of families from our city.
Friends, family, co-workers gunned down at the Municipal Center.
I don't know what kind of person would do something like that.
Our hearts ache over the senseless violence that has been inflicted upon the Virginia Beach community.
A city in mourning today after tragedy strikes in the resort city. 12 people are dead and 4 others hurt after a mass shooting in Virginia Beach yesterday. I'm Katie Collette.
And I'm Don Roberts. Virginia Beach Mayor Bobby Dyer called this the most devastating day in the history of the city. Much of our community is still struggling to put together the pieces. 10 on your side's Kiana Patterson joins us now live at the Virginia Beach Municipal Center this morning. And Kiana, walk us through the timeline of what happened.
Well, Katie and Don, this all started around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, but I want to show you the crime scene is still up here right behind me. It's very chilling to think about. 12 people did not go home to their families last night, and this is the scene here. Now, police do tell us the shooting started in the parking lot, and that's where the suspect shot at least one person in a car, and then police say the suspect walked into Building 2, which houses several departments, including the Public Works Department. Then that suspect opened fire with a handgun and suppressor and additional ammo. Police have not officially named the suspect. However, police sources confirm the suspect is 40-year-old Dwayne Craddock, a longtime public utilities employee. Now, Police Chief Jim Severa says 2 detectives and 2 K-9 handlers from the Special Operations Unit entered the building shortly after they found the suspect and immediately engaged in a lengthy gun battle, according to the police chief.
I want you to know that during this gun battle, basically the officers stopped this individual from committing more carnage in that building. When the suspect went down due to his injuries, our officers then immediately rendered first aid as they were removing him from the building to the waiting EMS personnel.
Such a sad day for our community, but we do know that shooter was ultimately shot and killed, and we also know a police officer was injured in that shooting. He was taken to the hospital, but Police Chief Jim Severa says that that bulletproof vest saved his life. Now, we are expecting an update a little later this morning around 8 o'clock, and we will have that live streamed on Wavy TV 10. In Virginia Beach, Kiana Patterson, 10 on your side.
Now, investigators are combing the home of the suspect, Dwayne Craddock, looking for clues. 10 on your side learned SWAT raided a condo in Atkins Reserve off of Witch Duck Road yesterday. In this video, you can see a heavy police presence. Of course, you see that yellow crime scene tape stretched across several cars. Neighbors of Craddock say he kept to himself and didn't talk much to anyone.
When you hear what he's accused of doing, what do you think?
I'm petrified because I live right under him, so that could have been easily me or my girlfriend or my roommate, and
it's emotional to you.
he seemed like a nice guy. He introduced himself when we first moved in. That's just crazy.
Now, she also described the suspect as quiet and always carrying a book bag.
Because of privacy laws, authorities aren't releasing a lot of information about the injured who were taken to area hospitals. But here's what we do know. After the shooting, Centera Virginia Beach General first received 5 patients. 2 died. 2 others are in critical condition. 1 is in fair condition. Another victim walked into a hospital and received treatment and was released. A doctor at Centera Virginia Beach General talked about dealing with a mass shooting incident.
We immediately went into our protocol for a patient surge. We called in our backup, and it was a collaborative effort with nurses, emergency medicine physicians, trauma surgeons, neurosurgeons, vascular surgeons, etc. We rapidly triaged patients, stabilized them, resuscitated them as best we could.
One patient from Princess Anne was flown by Nightingale to Centera Norfolk General, and at last check was listed in critical condition.
Several vigils are planned for the next few days to remember those who lost their lives and were hurt yesterday.
Later this morning, people will gather at Regal Cinemas at Strawbridge Marketplace at 10. That's on General Booth Boulevard. Tonight, Bridge Church is holding a community vigil. That'll start at 6 at the church on Indian River Road near North Landing Road. And St. John's Baptist Church on Holland Road will also host a prayer vigil. It starts at 7 at the church near Nimmo Parkway.
Later this week, Old Dominion University's Student Government Association will host a vigil on campus. It's happening Wednesday at 6 outside the Webb University Center. University President John Broderick says the community is invited to attend. You can find all of this information on wavy.com. And there's certainly a lot that has developed overnight with this. We're working to get all of those new details for you. We'll continue that coverage throughout this hour and throughout the morning. We do want to get a check of the weather now. A lot's been happening there as well. This is a live look at Tower Cam 10 over downtown Portsmouth and Norfolk this morning. It is quiet out there now after some really strong storms moved through the area last night.
Let's get the latest from meteorologist Casey Laheka in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. And Casey, are we going to see some more rain today?
Yeah, we are still going to see a little bit of rain on the way. It's not going to be anything like we were dealing with late last night, but there still is a chance for a few heavy downpours before all of this starts to move out. So taking a look at satellite and radar right now, we did see the bulk of that rain move well off the coast, but with this storm moving, rotating counterclockwise, you can see some of that is starting to wrap around now, and we are picking up on a little bit of heavy rainfall across the region. A lot of that heavy rain over the water, so really not causing any problems there, but some of it across the southern portion of the eastern shore there, so we are going to be seeing a little bit of rain from that, and now some heavy rain just moving into the northern portion of Virginia Beach, so mainly north of 264 near the Allenton area, Linwood as well, moving into Bay Island, and we will continue to see a few heavy downpours there. But the other area that we have been watching as well, and this has been happening for the past hour or so, some really heavy rainfall from Williamsburg all the way to Richmond, just following 64 pretty much, and even northward of Gloucester right now we are seeing some really heavy rain. Now some of this starting to get out of the viewing area at this point, but it is moving off to the south, so we could see some rain still in Sussex County into Southampton County, and even through portions of northeast North Carolina. So we will continue to look at that and let you know where and when you can expect it and how long. And we'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Casey, thank you. And we turn now to breaking overnight news. One person died in a crash involving a tractor trailer early this morning in Suffolk. It happened just after midnight on South Key Road near Leafwood Road. According to Suffolk police, a passenger vehicle and a tractor trailer were involved. Paramedics pronounced one person dead at the scene. We're still working to learn which vehicle that person was in. We'll be sure to bring you any updates on air and online at wavy.com.
Following developing news elsewhere in Hampton Roads this morning, we're working to find out more about a shooting overnight with multiple victims in Portsmouth. Dispatchers say officers responded to Mount Vernon Avenue near London Boulevard around 1:30 this morning. This is a look at the scene as detectives work to gather evidence connected to the shooting. And we reached out to police to find out how many people were shot and how badly they were hurt, and if they know who pulled the trigger. Catch any updates to this story on wavy.com.
Coming up this morning, reuniting with loved ones. Hear from a man whose fiancée was inside the municipal center during the shooting and what text messages she sent him said.
Plus, how Virginia Beach's mayor and vice mayor are reacting to the tragedy.